We can live off of rice and beans, but that would be boring. I like eating a variety of good food. Similarly, it's possible to replace fruits and vegetables with multivitamins, but there are a lot of reasons not to. The foods we eat develop relationships with our senses, and we think about those relationships. As we reflect on the benefits of each food, we navigate the placebo effect and incur those benefits within ourselves. Separately, they have properties, they have relationships with the different compounds that exist. Eating a fruit is different than eating a multivitamin because of the ways that our bodies process the nutrients. Partially, again, because of the ways that we expect to navigate that thing that we're eating. All of this is to say that it's possible for jobs to be automated with AI, but not necessarily for good reasons or etc. It's often a bad idea to replace a human with whatever we can describe about their job. This does also mean that if a human can describe their job and we know that whatever they describe can be automated, we can assume that that's the floor of what we're trying to emphasize. We know that we're making progress if we increment the things that we can describe. If nothing changes about the things that we can describe, are we actually doing anything? And if we're not doing anything, maybe we can make some room for the new humans who are looking for stuff to do. Navigating nihilism is often very difficult, and a lot of people aren't successful. It is possible to discover, invent, and share meaning. We just need opportunities to discover, invent, and share meaning. In college, I started a student organization called Student Body for Meaningful Education with 3 committees: discussion, connection, and creation. That was in 2016-2017, about 9 years ago. Over the past decade, I've been drawing with people and exploring how art can share meaning. It is possible to get into the neuroscience and cognitive science about how we potentiate our brains, how visual stimuli create different potentials that we recognize and navigate emotionally. It turns out that getting people to engage with art is the hardest part. A lot of people weren't raised with the intrinsic value of the process. A lot of people consider art to be more of a luxury than a necessary element of engaging with emotions. When this happens, artists are delegated into corners where they aren't visible. The products are consumed as part of feeds, but the actual artists and the meaning that they intend isn't. We don't really need to process the things that we watch on feeds. We are allowed to just acknowledge that there's stimuli and feel satisfied that we've seen time pass. Forming more meaningful relationships does require a bit more engagement, and creating art is a fantastic way to do that. I was going to say fundamentally necessary part of processing information, but that's my take. When we engage with our motor skills using different utensils, we consider the impacts of the things that we're doing and how that might serve towards positive consequence. Acknowledging positive consequence gives us the ability to acknowledge consequence without negativity. Personally, I notice an immense lack of accountability from some terrible technical leadership. This is bad. I don't like that. It poisons society and makes it harder to relate to people. The patterns that emerge are often very tempting, and those need to be dismantled. Digested more, integrated more with art. Integrated more meaningfully with sharing connection. So, I encourage people to explore art and tell stories. If it feels meaningless at first, it might just be that the muscle of interpreting meaning hasn't been practiced. If you're nervous about over-interpreting meaning, it can be helpful to share it with other people who can give their take on what they see. I make a lot of abstract art, and the things that stand out to people are the things that are based in their experiences. I appreciate being able to share the experience of navigating other people's experiences and seeing what they notice. When I share this time and ability with people, my world evolves, and it gets easier for me to navigate the difficult circumstances that I need to. In summation, we can't summarize our experience, or we can summarize it, but we can't automate our experience of whatever we would turn into a summary. And we can interpret summaries and incorporate them artistically.